There is fresh hope and new concern for the boys trapped in a cave in Thailand this morning. Hope comes from new video of them. The boys all smiles as their rescuers prepare for a risky and dangerous attempt to reach the surface. As you see here, the boys introduce themselves one by one and give traditional Thai greetings. The video also shows them being treated for cuts and scrapes from medics with the Thai Navy SEALs. What you don't see in this video, but authorities tell us, are the 12 boys and the coach are now getting a crash course in swimming and using scuba gear. Going underwater may be their only way out. The dark labyrinth of the cave is partly flooded, and authorities say the coming monsoon rains would fully flood the route to the surface and strand the boys underground for months. This is a look at where they are and what they may have to do to reach the surface. The boys, their coach, and a team of Thai Navy SEALs are now in a cavern about 1 kilometer down and as far as 2.5 kilometers from the cave's entrance. As you can see, much of the way out is flooded. The passage so narrow in places that divers have to take their scuba tanks off their backs and carry them. Parts are also very deep. In one spot, the boys will be as much as 30 meters under the water. They'll be in the dark, too, with the only light carried by their rescuers. And near the end of the ordeal, they'll have to climb using ropes and special gear. There are many, many daunting challenges, and my guest this morning is going to help us understand some of the particular obstacles to all of this. His name is Anmar Mirza. He's the national coordinator of the U.S. National Cave Rescue Commission, joining us this morning from Bloomington, Indiana. Mr. Mirza, thank you for being our guest.
You're quite welcome.
You have been a cave diver and cave rescuer, sir, for more than 30 years. From your experience and from your understanding of the circumstances, how dangerous and difficult is the situation in Thailand?
Well, first a correction, I'm not a cave diver. I am an open water diver, but I have been caving for a long time and have been involved in cave rescue for a long time. I can say that the logistically and from a management standpoint, this is quite possibly one of the most difficult rescues that not only have I ever seen, but that I know of.
And what makes it so?
Well, first off, of course, you have the long-term aspect of it, the fact that initially it was 9 days before they even knew if they were alive or not, and now you have the potential, even if they do decide to take the diving option out, you're looking at several days, if not weeks of training before that is something that the people who are on scene and have the good information to make that decision before they may feel that it's ready. And if they decide that it is not a good option, then you may be looking at many weeks to several months of being trapped in the cave. Mm-hmm. One thing to keep in mind, a lot of people don't really think of, is that we are at the mercy of the weather here, of course, but monsoon season there doesn't necessarily mean that it's just going to keep raining continuously. There are breaks in the weather that come and go, and if they're lucky, they may get a break that allows the pumping and the other methods they're using to lower the water level to make it a better condition for them to get them out.
There is no easy decision, is there, in all of this? So as I listen to that, I'm trying to weigh what you're saying there. What do you think is the best option to keep these boys safe?
I get asked that a question a lot, and as somebody who's done a lot of rescues in my life, I'm going to say I do not have enough information to even make a judgment. The people who are on the scene there who have the best information, I know several of the people who are there or know of them, and I trust fully that they will make the best decisions that could be made.
Right.
As I've been watching this all along, I've actually been very impressed with the fact that their thought processes are much similar to what I have looking at it from a distance. So I trust them to make the best decisions, and that decision may change based on what the conditions are. So there is no one best at any one time. It's what's best that fits that particular moment.
Okay. It looks at this point like the option they are favoring, because we've seen them working with masks and we know that they're teaching the boys to swim and dive in that cave. It looks like it's the swim them out, dive them out option. So as incredible as that sounds, is it feasible?
Well, certainly it's feasible. It is far riskier than the other option, at least if the boys can be safe and supplied where they are. The thing is, though, they're teaching them how to do that because in rescue we contingency plan. We plan for every possible contingency. So it's better to take the time now when you have the time to work on teaching them to do these things rather than suddenly at the last minute going, oh, this is the only option we have left. Now let's try to do it. So they may or they may not use that option, but a really good use of that time is to train them. It also gives the boys psychologically confidence because they're doing something to help affect their own rescue. And even if they never end up doing that particular option, it has helped the boys psychologically.
Okay. As we speak, we're just going to take a quick look live at the scene, this big operation command center where even though it's on into the night, there are still people there and obviously there are still decisions being made. It struck me the pressure on these people, on the rescuers and the people who are coordinating it. It must be incredible because everybody's there, everybody's waiting, everybody wants us to have a happy ending. How might that figure into things?
Well, it's actually one of the biggest factors that I've been concerned about since this entire operation began. The people who are doing the rescues are now there under a microscope, and no matter what decision they make, if there's anything but an entirely positive outcome, even though they may have made the best decisions that were possible given the information that they had at that time, there's still going to be an element of blame, whether overt or implied. And it's a huge amount of stress that distracts them from their primary mission of trying to do a successful rescue.
And Mirza, I thank you for your time today as we reach you there in Indiana. Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.